Oh, God damn it. Oh, shit. Thanks, computer. Whoops. Hello, everybody. I want to start with this clip, actually. I feel like
autistic or riddled with acne. Straight off the bat, I want to let all the newcomers to my channel know that I'm perfectly fine with bullying. Make fun of someone because they're fat, autistic, or riddled with acne. I don't care. Make fun of them. I think my only stipulation with the bullying is that you also have to not be a pussy.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neil. I'm like, fuck, like, it's really hard to be, a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like, if you come to their defense, if that doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
Straight off the bat, I want to let all the newcomers...
Clip aged like milk. It sure did. I miss Idubbbz. I miss the old Idubbbz too. And I think we can, like, pretty much nail down the piece of content that killed him. And I think it was the Sam Hyde episode. I think it was this. I think this is what killed him.
With Danny, has she been on drugs since she met you?
She's been on drugs since before she met me. So if you're implying that I've driven her to drug use, you are incorrect.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's what I wanted to sort of get out of the way.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad we got that out of the way.
Have you tried to get her any help?
No, seeing as she's a girl I paid $500 to shave her head and pretend to be my girlfriend, no, I haven't tried to get her any help. Should you want me to try?
Well, okay.
I don't know her that well. It's probably not my business to get her off drugs. Also, I think I told her to put her hand in your pocket and pretend to be on drugs.
Shut up.
You think are you serious? You think I would date a girl that has her hair shaved like that?
Yes.
You think I'm a fucking mental case?
Yes.
No, actually, well, I've known her for a long time. And
this is so upsetting to me right now.
You think
I just can't believe he did this entire thing with Sam Hyde and put it up and then was like, why don't people like it? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another free-for-all Tuesday, I guess would be the right way to put it. How we doing out there? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a lovely Tuesday. And I hope the storms have not affected you too badly. We haven't had anything too much here yet today, but I guess we'll see how that goes. But I do really want to take, and I haven't watched any of this yet. I have not seen very many clips, nothing on Idubbbz's latest content cop. Haven't seen much of anything. What's going on, Chicken Sushi, Shiru, Pickle? All you guys hanging out over there on Twitch? Outside the area, you doing okay? We're fine here so far. Making tacos. Ooh, tacos. I don't have power. Holy shit. No way. Whereabouts are you, Felda? Storm's headed this way tomorrow. Yeah, I heard whatever's going on now is going to be happening again, like Tuesday or something, or Thursday, I'm sorry. So I don't know, I guess we'll have to see how that goes. So what are we just waiting? I guess we just wait and see. Oh, what's that? Sherman subscribing with Prime, thank you very much. Or no, not with Prime, just regular subscription for 11 months. Thank you so much. The very middle of Pennsylvania. Ooh wee. Oh, yeah, Felda, I wanted to talk to you about something. Shoot me a message over on the Discord. I never trust the sky in springtime. I don't trust the sky any time of the year. I'm in Ohio. I've learned that that's just, don't trust the big ceiling. We're supposed to get storms. Shiru subscribing with Prime. The little shin kicks to Knight of the Diamond Spoon. Thank you very much, Shiru. I appreciate that, buddy. West Texas getting it good. Tomorrow is Central's turn. Oh, boy. I guess we'll have to see. I don't really know. But if you can, try to be safe. I live in England. Never trust the sky. Yeah, there's no sky in England. The English sky is fake. It's just a big drop ceiling they put above you guys and painted it really well so you can't tell. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the content cop. So guys, pretty please hit the like button. I know we're probably going to have super duper low numbers here today because I never do any Tuesday streams anymore. That's something I'm gonna have to fix on my end, and that is my issue, and I know that. So please hit the like, please share it out, all that stuff. If you want to support, you guys know exactly how to do. Oh, I remembered a thing. Bang. I can give 10 memberships away, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do 5 now. No, today's the last day of the month that I'm going to stream. I'm going to do all 10 right now. Giving 10 memberships away. There we go. All right, who's getting them? Hannah, Brown, Zobels, Crayus, Alec, Mama Kimmins, Bruce Campbell, Haley Nicole, Shadow Cat, Fake Gamer Cat, C. Thomas, Julian Gonzalez. Yeah. Hello, members. You're very welcome. I completely forgot about that. That I can give away 10 memberships every month. Welcome, members. You guys have access to videos that aren't released yet. I don't know how long you have access to them, but there are videos that are set. Yeah, won't be out till tomorrow. Set to members first. So there you guys go for that one. So yeah, hit the like, do all the sharing and all that other stuff. Yeah, let's take a look at this.
Destination, the beach is surprisingly dangerous. Consider
in our defense, like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far.
God, when did he get all these fucking tattoos? Are those real? Ugh.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people.
What we do here is go.
Oh, God. Oh, no. I can already tell that this is going to be... And I just want to keep... I want everyone to keep in mind, this is literally... The only reason any of this is happening is literally just because Ethan Klein's Jewish. That's it. That's the only reason any of this is happening.
Go back.
He does look like a crackhead.
Back.
But by the way, peep the like to dislike on this one. 350,000 likes to 530,000 dislikes. Ooh. Oh, boy. And I have been bringing... The stream goal is being brought back, and that's why we have Idubbbz. That's a perfect fucking freeze frame for that, too. How are you about to be skinny and have a muffin top? At least be fat with a muffin top like me. Oh, computer freeze. Why computer freezing? Oh, right. For some reason... On this computer, I can't do anything on Chrome. I have to do everything on Firefox. I forgot. Silly me. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, give me a second. And this is like my new good computer, too. I just can't do anything on fucking Chrome. I literally have to do everything on Firefox because Chrome just freezes if I have OBS open. That's healthy. I want to... Can we go back and look at when these intros were really fucking good? Because, like, I remember the intros being really good. The Content Cop intros were the best. Oh. Oh, no. Did he take his Content Cops down? No. No. No way. Content Cop Archive. Oh, this is another channel. Did he take all his content? He wiped his channel from all Content Cops. No way. What? Whoa. What a bitch, dude. He did that a while ago? How did you not know? Because I haven't been paying attention to any of this. This is my first time really diving into it.
What's up,
gross.
everybody? I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the Hasan broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live on a live.
In your $1 million mansion. Don't forget that part. Your $1 million mansion.
I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's Content Nuke, and I'm not going to call it Context Puke as I normally do because the reality of the matter is...
I don't think he actually watched it. I remember we covered that a little while ago. I don't think he actually watched it.
It was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am.
Well, you're at least a supporter.
A vicious anti-Semite. It's true. I
mean, you actually are an anti-Semite. If a right-winger said the stuff that you said, you'd be calling him a Nazi.
Importantly, Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and also mentally.
I am for sure.
Been lying about every...
Oh shit, I completely forgot that I left the Awoo train up. Yeah, let's just let it ride. Sure, why not? Fuck it. I didn't even notice that until that popped up, and I wanted to talk about it, but I forgot. But now I am, so here we are. I think the funny part about this is that most of where Idubbbz gets his research is Hasan and others that don't like H3H3 and want him taken down for his view. And his views are just him being Jewish. That's it. He's just, he's ethnically Jewish.
Everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the Content Nuke. And he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How?
This is so fucking cringe. Ow. This is so fucking cringy, dude. How did he record this, edit it, watch it again and go, yeah, that's perfect.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan.
Is this on Cockeyed? Oh, God. Oh, God. So cringy. Oh, man. Why did you do this? Okay, we're like 20 minutes into the live stream and have gotten 2 minutes into Ethan's or Idubbbz video. We gotta try to let it roll. Thank you, M4 Sherman, and number 3 on the Awoo train, I guess.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
The fuck is that?
Wake up, Ethan.
Who is that?
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
It is a nightmare, but not the nightmare that you think it is.
And the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Oh, hey, it's half-size Foodie Beauty.
Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Who the fuck is this? Who are these people? They're Frogan. I know who Frogan is. I don't know who the chick with the titties or this dude is.
Wake up.
All dead. All dead eyes. Denim was the first chick. I've never heard of Denim.
Since anyone? Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, Ethan.
Doesn't Frogan get like 100 viewers per live stream? How does anybody like actually give a shit what she says?
I'm not gonna do a react.
Oh my God, you're kidding. Frogan can't even get her fucking feet up off the floor. She's so fat. What? What is happening here? What is this?
Content yet, chat.
Frogan can't go 2 feet off the floor. Ooh.
I'm the same. The robots told you to wake up, Ethan. Yummy.
That, hold on.
Yeah, content.
They're Fortnite dancing. Okay, yeah, that's... She's lost weight, apparently. Where? Did she cut her hair? Did she take a shit? Because she looks as fat as she ever did.
And yet,
Like, she's clearly not over 300 pounds. She's probably like mid-2s. But, like, she has a Foodie Beauty-sized face.
chat.
I'm the same. The robots.
That's not... It's not how you hold an AR-15. And it's loaded, too. That's fun. I could see the ammo in the magazine.
Yummy.
Of course she's got the food.
I love Sabramas. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
Dude. Dude. So I had a reprint part of my Titan model that won't be done for like it won't be done till Thursday, I don't think. This is awful. Maybe late tomorrow night. I don't know. Look, man. We're doing this, okay? We are doing this. All I ask of you is to please hit the like button. That's all I need you to do.
All right. I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3 content cop, Idubbbz. Ethan Klein's out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hasan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's
Why Sargon? What is happening?
gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot, it's Ethan. He's the one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years.
None of your business subscribed to tier 3 for 57 months. My God, this is a weird defense of a terrorist-loving commie tard against his ex-friend. It is very, very fucking weird, Nunya. 57 months. I bow my head to you, good sir. Thank you very much.
Can't find a...
Oh, and by the way, in the spirit of transparency, any Streamlabs today is going right to Warhammer Paint.
Fine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know some of you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his podcast, with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different
I'm not a big Ethan Klein fan. Most people know that. But, like, if you're going to dislike him, at least dislike the insane shit that he says, not just that he doesn't like terrorism.
Controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hasan Piker. In doing so, he's gathered a ton of different audiences. Now, in his podcast with Hasan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk about surface level progressive shit and make fun of right-wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers. You trans women. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hasan was very well...
The very serious topic being terrorism.
...well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by the state of Israel, America's greatest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, the dance he invented was so kick-ass.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that that may be a war crime. It literally is.
I was just eating the toppings. And the pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
So Ethan Klein was not talking about stuff happening in the Middle East, therefore he's okay with it. What?
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think it's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know? We don't expect Ethan to be...
You literally just brought it up as a point that he wasn't talking about the thing that at the time you weren't talking about, but Hasan was talking about it, so it's good that Hasan was talking about it, but it's bad that Ethan wasn't and you weren't, so it's okay. What?
Expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught in this tricky situation where he is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel. On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very...
The progressive audience that all these people feel the need to kowtow to is insane to me. Like, really, honestly, who gives a fuck what they say? Don't be pro-war or pro-terrorism. Like, that just makes sense to me. I'm not falling over myself to defend anybody.
Politically savvy. They follow Hasan. Hasan is strictly a political streamer, so this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're gonna call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience...
You remember back in like 2017 when some hired Patriot Front people said that and it was front page news everywhere? Now the same people who got mad about it are saying it, so it's a good thing.
That Ethan has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it not on Leftovers, he's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that when you listen.
Slim for 50 bits, thank you very much. That'll be 50 cents to Warhammer Paint.
Hasan, and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, crazy, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hasan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits, and everybody thinks this guy...
It's funny that all these dipshits that he's talking about, who are, in fact, dipshits, all advocate for Israel to be wiped off the map. And then he's like, nah, I actually don't like that. And they're like, racist.
It's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Millhouse, fucking dork. Denims, by the way, was the real villain of the video. Evil, hateful fucking... And I'll say it and I'll double down on it. And people... Oh, no? Did I not go there?
And it's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hasan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many...
What's up, Fustonia?
Nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually...
Why? Okay, can somebody just please explain to me why Ethan needs to go get help? Because he doesn't like the fact that these people are advocating for Jews to get killed. Like, I'm having a real hard time coming to grips with, and again, I cannot stress enough, not a big Ethan fan, but I really, really, really don't see what the issue is.
He'll find peace.
Oh, never mind. I know exactly what the issue is. Duh. Duh.
And we can, like, rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hasan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like Idubbbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. And also he's way out of my weight class.
He's literally, yes, doing that.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there. I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H3 fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it.
Ethan, do you really think putting yourself, your crew, and your audience in a semantic competition over a petty-year-old I'm right, you're wrong obsession you can't get over is the right strategy? Just listen to Hasan. What the fuck?
I'm not going to retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed my old friend. Some wings are too bird feathered, colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th of this year. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that Idubbbz' former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see, it would be very...
Yeah, you have to have an impressively terrible take if I'm coming to disagree with you about Ethan Klein. It's so... You know what it is? It's so tribalistic. It's like Ethan agrees with these people on 99.9999999% of things. Except this one thing. So they're like, horrible, Nazi! Oh, God.
Obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information, and that would be horrible.
I've got too much Warhammer on the brain. Neocons are out defending Epstein's because they worship. I read that as the Necrons are defending stuff. I have been watching so many, because I'm getting ready to buy my first set of paint, like proper Warhammer painty stuff. And I've been watching so many videos on Warhammer and Paint and stuff like that. These neocons, I read it as Necrons. God.
Horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things that are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the hell out of you. Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting...
Because you paid him. What do you mean? Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy? He's your guy. What?
On the Reddit, when there's no work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place. If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same.
You know, they say you can disregard anything anybody says before the word but, and I think this is a great example of that.
Shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the two podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and Idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists.
It is a pretty safe bet, in my opinion, that you are well aware of all this stuff being said, but you're perfectly okay with it. For whatever reason, you're perfectly fine with it. And it's people, your friends, saying it about your other friends. But you're not going to say anything to them because they're your other friends.
For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not going to throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like.
So what would you do if, say, before all this stuff happened, if when you were catching shit because your wife's a whore, and Ethan Klein, one of his buddies, were talking about it and he never said anything, like when you're coming on the internet crying, trying to stick up for Nessa or whatever her name is, and Ethan Klein just never said anything to the person who was talking shit about you that he was friends with, how would you feel about that? I bet you would feel pretty fucking differently.
Like I'm not going to throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
How many women I fucked? Hasan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hasan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, that's what wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are
what?
Many people, I'm sure, who have
what is the point of this?
Unfollowed you for the things that you have said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to...
Did Ethan stick up for Idubbbz when all the shit was going on with his wife?
Speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm
You literally are a bad friend.
mindless, I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the #1 type of harassment I got, was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I've probably done and stood by Idubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
So he stuck up for you when everyone was going after you. But now everyone's going after him. You're like, ah, no, fuck that guy, actually. Like, dude, you're an asshole. You're being a straight up asshole right now. This is a struggle session. Commie bastards love that shit. That's true.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. And certainly I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. Like, I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation.
I'm sorry you guys are going through so much harassment. You fucking deserve it, you piece of shit. Like, whoa.
But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hasan actually wants to go to Israel, go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you.
Is that not... You just said he was one of your employees. What?
3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
and
like
I was
that.
supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why did we forget that he called...
So, these people... I think what you're showing right now is not what you think it's showing. What you're showing is that Ethan and Hila, however crooked they may be, have some type of morals when it comes to some of this stuff, but you just don't share it. You're not willing to do for them what they did for you.
Her children, which...
Yeah, this is the perfect time for the $9 donation, actually.
Which is something we would never do. The spawn
Never.
of Satan.
It's disgusting.
And
a
I
piece
mean,
of shit of a human.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there...
I have no idea who Adam McIntyre is.
...was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with that. And what it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it.
What it sounds like is that they did make some kind of statement about it, but nobody cared at the time.
Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah.
I'm looking.
Good morning, muckers. It is 6 a.m. and it is April the 22nd, and we are heading to Nashville today. So
What the fuck? The truth about touring.
Good morning, muckers. It is 6 a.m. and it is
Muckers. 13,000 views.
Baltimore, I think. Or I can
24 hours ago. Almost 500,000 subscribers. That's not good views.
going back to New York today. So I'm
This just looks like a vlogger. Oh, it looks like he averages about 1 to 200,000 views. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't really seem like the kind of content I'd watch.
We strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other
Is he just playing the same clip over and over?
people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't
I'm having a hard time following the point he's trying to make here.
to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh, yeah. And our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times because, like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly...
Same thing, same reason you wouldn't. What the fuck is he talking about, dude? Is he just saying they should have done it for me even though I didn't do it for them? Like, is that his entire point here?
What you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone
who gives a shit?
Unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received...
I thought we weren't allowed to talk about Irish oppression or else it was racist or something.
A lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are
What?
taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
mean, like just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not going to run to your defense when...
Yeah, why wouldn't you defend us, but we're not going to defend you? What a fucking dickhead.
I don't know, we follow people? We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
The problem.
okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you and just.
So his argument here is you should have stood up for us, but why would you expect us to stand up for you? Am I getting that right? Because that's what it really does seem like. That's what it seems like he's saying.
Show your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know,
Her dad,
yeah,
Which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims is
Denim.
actually participating in this whole Child Protective Service lie.
Yeah,
Which I'll
and if
show you
you're
guys
friends with
instead.
them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because...
You don't try to logic. You're right. I should not look for logic where I know there is none. There is no logic to be found here.
I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, where we are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation.
Clearly you don't.
How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know, I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend.
You're friends with Andrew Tate? What?
But there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not going to make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking... You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're...
Or you don't get CPS called on them. Like, this all seems like pretty basic stuff, guys.
The Davil.
The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a...
If I had a friend who hated Drunkle so much that he just called the cops on him all the time, I would stop being friends with them.
friend, it kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore.
Then
but that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't
Okay, do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends, though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like, yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier.
You're such a fucking pussy, dude. Just stick up for your buddy. So you have two friends. One is getting the cops called on him by the other one, and you go, this is your problem. What?
Easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly
I bet they would have been perfectly fine for you to go, hey man, you should not be doing that.
fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
At least say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she.
So here's what I'm getting from this. So far, it took 24 minutes for Idubbbz to say, I expect you to stand up for me. It is wrong for me. No, I'm sorry. I expect you to stand up for me. It is wrong for you to expect me to stand up for you because I don't want my other new friends to be mad at me. Why are you talking about the fact that we're friends publicly and that I'm shitting on you publicly? What?
She doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What?
Okay, let's take a minute break here, guys, because this I didn't realize just exactly how bad this was. And again, I am not an Ethan Klein fan. I am not sticking up for Ethan Klein. What I'm doing is sticking up for all of us who have to endure this nonsense publicly. And it's pretty apparent that Idubbbz is just being a fucking shitty friend. So if you guys could please hit the like button, if you could share it out on your socials, like I said earlier, I have not been doing many streams on this channel. I would be shocked if we have over 100 people watching right now.
I need about Treefiddy.
Just hitting the like, sharing it out, all that stuff is greatly appreciated. CTP throwing $350 into the Warhammer paint hat. I think Shuan Head summed up the kind of people Idubbbz is siding with. These people don't have friends, only enemies and temporary allies. Yeah, that's my button's not, or my button. I have a physical bell. Yeah, that's good. That is pretty accurate for Shoe on Head. Deep breath. 104 watching. Wow, nice. So cool. Thank you, CTP. And if you want to support, aka throw money into the Warhammer mini paint hat, I'm gonna go pick some up tomorrow. Streamlabs is down below.
What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment.
Don't get how many drugs Idubbbz got to be on to think this was a good idea and release. That's what I said at the beginning. Like, you recorded this, edited this, watched it twice, and went, this is perfect.
Harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
You fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off.
All of that is factual. He himself says that he is a propagandist.
Watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you?
This is some fucking foodie beauty logic. People talk about me, I respond. They say I'm harassing them. What?
Ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have
Anissa is Yoko Ono.
Ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself. In terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your, like, this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say, like, oh yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted and I feel...
How do you think they felt when your new friends were calling the cops on them and you were just like, yeah, no, it's cool. This is a you guys problem.
Offensive, and I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist. Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for.
Yeah, it's really convenient how he leaves out the whole CPS thing right here. That's super convenient.
Racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much
Sorry.
do you actually care? If you're, isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And it's not...
Probably because this is the most anti-Semitism is being accepted on the internet because it's coming from the correct people.
Completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something and it's saying, fuck you, you guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
You're behaving poorly. I don't remember who said this earlier about a struggle session, but that is quite literally what's happening right now. This is a fucking struggle session that they're trying to put Ethan and Hila through. But Idubbbz, nobody wants to be friends with your new friends. Nobody wants to hang out with Denims and Hasan, Anissa. Nobody wants to hang out with these people. You guys are all just online buddies and you guys rake in cash. Everyone else is like, maybe we shouldn't hate people just because they happen to be Jewish.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
Marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
Well, and it's the same thing, to bring it back to Hasan just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza until I found out it's dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely, harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hasan.
Like, people like Anissa are the perfect...
Yeah, how is he supposed to feel about Hasan? Hasan pretty much said he doesn't want to be friends with Ethan anymore and do a show because Ethan's Jewish. Like, what?
Perfect example, because she's friends with these people. She's friends...
Hasan is literally one of the biggest pieces of shit I have ever seen online. That's a fact.
With Denims. Denims is streaming this story about our kid
I'll show that, yeah.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why?
Okay, I really hope it's not going this way, but it really sounds like it's going this way. He's trying to say it's okay to have CPS called on you because you watch content and give an opinion on it. Therefore, you deserve to have CPS called on you. Please don't tell me that's his take. I'm going to pull it back a second.
I'm sorry. I'll accept this take, this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much.
I like how Idubbbz talks about this kind of shit, like he's somehow the superior to Ethan in any way, shape, or form. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you like adults. Where the fuck do you get off?
And it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for
but
saying
that would be commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is clean, they're they're actually good people, like that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids. Ethan and Hila...
Somebody sent 2 human skulls to Ethan's house? Oh, classy.
...didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the fucking... the prompt is. No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's
Yes, it
difficult
does.
and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what makes standing by your principles admirable, is that it's not always easy.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are? I get, like, we're a little bit past
You don't stand up for anything, though.
directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles. Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Oh, this is not a good start. Love of the H3 podcast. You are following Frogan, so that means that you are anti-Ethan. Sam, Morg Pie, friend of the show. Olivia, Ian, Daily Dose of Internet is anti-Ethan. Jesus, this is fucked up. Pokimane, comment etiquette. Oh shit, Asmongold's in here? Asmongold follows Frogan? No, Asmon. That means you're anti-Ethan. That's fucked up. We're gonna wanna avoid these creators at the top of the list, but one tier below them are the creators who associate with them. They're essentially endorsing all of their statements. You got me, you got Anissa, I think Hasan's in there.
Stop. God, you guys look like a lesbian couple.
You'd think that Hasan would be on the top of the BDS list, but that's not the case. Hasan provides additional value for people. Ethan can turn a
I can argue the exact opposite.
blind eye to people collaborating with Hasan because that's what he did. You gotta be the lowest of the low to be associating with the Frogans and the Denims of the world. To associate with Hasan, that just makes sense because he's famous and he's got a massive
Why do you feel the need to cozy up to this cadre of people?
fan base. Also, Ethan still follows Hasan on Instagram, so Hasan is in his feed.
And that's showing up right up on Anissa's and Idubbbz feed.
It's important to remember that this is a living document and people can be removed or put onto it depending on how Ethan's feeling that day. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hasan but are still anti-Ethan, but Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular, you know? A lot of them are famous. It's no coincidence that Ethan stays silent.
There is a big difference between Theo Von and Idubbbz.
When these powerful, popular men are supporting Hasan, it's because Ethan is a coward. He's a bitch-made coward. I think Ethan has an unreasonable amount of respect for these comedians because they have power, they're quick, and I think he knows that they don't fuck with his ideology. But
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that it is very likely that Theo Von does not share Hasan's political views and his blatant anti-Semitism. And I also think that it's more of the fact that it's the people who are going after your family. Like, am I missing something here?
But he's going to keep that to himself because the last thing that he wants to discover is that people that he respects and looks up to, they don't fuck with him.
Bill Burr came on. It was like the worst fucking show. It was just horrible. That was like my lowest moment on podcast history. We could talk about Bill Burr ruined my life. Bill Burr made Ethan go on Lexapro. I was prescribed it and it was in my bedside. And then it was the Bill Burr episode that made me finally start.
When Stavros goes on Hasan's stream and he mocks your content nuke,
I actually saw a really interesting video about you, man, and I don't know that I'm even comfortable being here anymore.
Oh no.
It really kind of shed light on you in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of like have leftist politics and stuff like that. And I actually feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually just here to let you know this is the last time I'm ever coming.
you don't fire back because you're
I find it funny that Ethan doesn't think it's worth his time to dunk on hijab. Yeah.
coping. So you're just going to tuck your tail between your legs and
Thank you, CTP. I appreciate it. That is $13 in the Warhammer Paint Fund. Nice.
Never mention on your podcast that mentions everything. You're bringing up some fucking connection I have on Twitter. Someone mocks you on a stream. You're not touching it.
Connection you have, a.k.a. your editor.
Fuck you. You're a coward. It's just his job. It's just what he does for his job. You know, he doesn't mean it. We're actually good friends. You know, he makes fun of everyone. It's not just me, right? Oh, also, I can't forget about Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb is in this like middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this category of popular and powerful men.
I have no idea who the fuck Matt Lieb is.
Who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with. Although, he's sniffing around.
This guy, Matt Lieb, he works for Good Mythical Morning. Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, who apparently is a producer for Good Mythical Morning. Well, this guy works for Good Mythical Morning, acting like he's wholesome, and he's bringing on somebody that wants to kill my wife, or in a video game. And I think he should be fired, frankly. And I hope he is fired. He's pathetic, and he interviewed basically a terrorist.
I think Ethan only respects power right now, which is one of the reasons I made this video in the first place, is because he thinks I'm weak. He thinks a lot of these other creators that he's gone out of his way to attack, he thinks that they're weak, and he thinks they're a target that he can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to, and...
Is this really an argument that we're putting forward right here? That Ethan is targeting people he thinks is weak? That's why he's going after Hasan Piker. You know, the guy who has no following. Definitely just going to roll over and, you know, deal with it. Like, I don't... You didn't think that went through very well, did you? Oh. Oops.
That we're not going to bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to, and I want him to know that we're not going to be bullied. You're being a piece of shit, and we're going to call you out.
So here's the button. You've got a video.
We're not going to be bullied. Ethan, you big bully. How dare you, you bully. Ethan, you hurt my feelings. Ah, Christ. What a pussy. Sorry. Hold on. CTP, I got the loads. Also, until I remember who Denim was, I didn't know someone could make a Temu brand amaranth. Thank you.
And you've got an audio.
What's up, Darkwill?
We're hitting both.
I wasn't paying attention. What is this?
He can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to, and I want him to know that we're not going to be bullied. You're being a piece of shit, and we're going to call you out.
So here's the button. You've got a video and you've got an audio. We're hitting both.
I don't know what is. I don't get it. What is this supposed to be? Please react to She Killed My Career with Shelly. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what that is.
I don't want to get there.
Yes.
There's no point.
Let's leave.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
I don't want to. But shit, like, how pathetic are you?
Is that supposed to be a dump button where they dump the audio and the video? Like, I don't get it. What is this thing? Ian, you need to put some context with shit like this. What are you doing?
Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I don't like pedophile. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach. You can be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. Yes, please.
Okay.
Big a deal.
I'm good, you please, guys, please.
That was fine. Yeah, I don't think it was that.
That was fine.
Big a deal. Of all the things that
Anywho.
it always surprises me what you think crosses the line.
Well, I looked at Olivia and she's like, yes, do it.
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch, as a response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to control himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his behavior, he spent $20,000.
Dan and Ela were like, we would kill button that right now if we could. I can't change who I am.
I know. That's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly.
He uses the button for everything.
So he got a dump button. The same thing that is in every radio station in America that prevents something from going out over the air that is not supposed to go out over the air. He bought that. Okay? How is that a bad thing? Is anything you're about to say about this thing, is it applicable to every single radio and television station in the United States?
If his jokes don't land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if this the Jordan crying thing.
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
If he's insecure about getting something wrong, he's hitting the button.
But okay.
You
what? Button for that? What on this frame could Ethan have responded to? Perhaps the country flag that he got wrong? Maybe. I don't know.
If he goes on a problematic tirade, he's hitting the button.
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big. I think you guys are wrong on this one. I think you guys are all wrong on this one.
I don't think he's unique in hitting the button. I think if all of us had buttons, we'd hit the button all the time. But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to have my podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay.
So yes, yeah, I caught that problematic too. So it's a dump button. Are we supposed to be upset that Ethan has a dump button? Like I don't get it. What is this? What am I supposed to be upset about? You're not doing a good job telling me why I'm supposed to be upset.
On topic. Also, the H3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
I've been diagnosed with goblin mode, actually.
By claiming that what happens is he just gets into this like uncontrolled state he refers to as goblin mode.
I do not call myself goblin mode.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yes, you did.
Goblin mode? Is that what you're calling Tourette's now?
To all victims of goblin mode, I would like to issue an apology.
Well, you are goblin mode today. You're goblin mode. Look how many times you paused.
I'm trying, bro.
And I don't think there's no room for using the term goblin mode. I like the idea that you're defending yourself and the little guy by going goblin mode when a big corporation or a big entity is trying
Big corporation, huh?
to attack you.
Like, if you fuck me over, if you steal money from me, if you patronize me, if you do any of this shit like you're trying to do to me, to treat me like a fucking idiot, I'm crazy, dude. I've gone fucking goblin mode over way less.
But you not thinking about what you're saying, not, reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior.
So you're upset that he's got a dump button. Yeah, I still have the drunkle shut up button.
That's not goblin mode.
Yeah, look, I still got the drunkle shut up button. I still have all the stuff from the 600th episode. But yeah, I still have the drunkle shut up button. Where's it at? I was just playing with it. Where is it? Oh no. Where's the drunkle shut up button? Oh, there it is. Boop. I still have the drunkle shut up. Of course I do.
That's being a child. Let's talk about the crew. I think the crew has been put in the worst working environment that you possibly can be for a fucking podcast. Every crew member has it bad. To be around Ethan, period, would be a nightmare right now.
I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that, okay? What she did was abhorrent. And by the way,
just don't. Listen, your critique of her is correct. It's just, people are sensitive about women being called that word. And so...
Like, how pathetic are you? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not assuming his pronouns. And fuck all these people. Go ahead.
No,
and I'm
no.
not yelling at you. I'm just... Kelly is a black woman, right?
Yes.
Mazil is a
Korean.
Oh, Dan, come on. You're being such a buzzkill. Yeah, I don't know Korean. I asked if Koreans are POs. God.
You know, Dan's
The whole reason he has to do stuff like this is because of people like Idubbbz.
the bathroom. Let's just not do this right now.
I asked if Korean people are POCs.
The one time the button didn't work and we listened to how he spoke to AB without thinking that the internet was going to hear it, it was rude, it was nasty, and it didn't have this caveat of like, I'm not mad at you. It was anger, and it was uncalled for.
Use they get access to cover most of it.
We're doing it.
What are
Making
you
it
doing?
so awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like this is what I'm talking about when it's always like.
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro.
Oh no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I just I'm about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday, maybe.
Is it?
You guys like.
All right, I'm taking my hand up. What? Okay, well.
I heard all that.
Thanks, button.
And he didn't want to take accountability for it. He immediately wanted to deflect, and he wanted to say that the button fucked him.
First of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
It makes it.
I was
yeah,
being
I
selfish.
remember talking about this when it happened. Yeah, okay, Ethan did a bad thing.
No, dude.
I wouldn't even say he's rude. He's an asshole, maybe, but it's not bad.
That button.
Or it's not
Like,
great.
can you imagine that button f***ing me over like that?
The button fucked you? AB fucked you? Who fucked you? You fucked yourself by being an asshole. He makes it seem like he's not a tyrant of a boss.
We're doing it.
What are
Making
you
it
doing?
so awkward and terrible. I appreciate the hard work.
I know you do.
And I loved it, and I really enjoy it.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke, Ethan is being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true and he's exaggerating.
People saw that. They thought that that was what you searched to
I did
pull
not
up that
type
photo. So I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate you doing that. God forbid.
It's okay because I buttoned it.
Why?
Because
it's not that big of a deal, man.
just
Like,
your
how
inability to.
No, hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when it's a surprise.
Okay, well, tell
Well, you just asked how it changed
Surprise
things.
them on your show.
Okay, all right.
You know, I understand that that's his role, and he's, you know, Ethan's made that his job, or Dan's made it his job. Ethan leans on it so heavily, in the same way that he leans on the button. Ethan is leaning on all of these people.
This is a very, very dumb segment. Holy shit, dude. Okay, he's got a button that he can dump because he's live. So what?
To be adults and look after his behavior and give all of this emotional and empathetic energy for Ethan, but Ethan refuses to give it back to them. Also, let's talk about AB and Lena, two Lebanese employees, and you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it. You're allowed to do that.
Hezbollah in Syria alone.
And so are you.
Killed double that much. All right, I'm gonna move on. I just want to play Hasan talking about Bad Empanada.
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him because he's putting them in this position every day, right? But it's more important that he gets this shit off his chest. It's more important that he dumps. We're all familiar.
Nobody is forcing these people to work with Ethan. Like, all of these people can quit and go get a job at fucking Walmart or Best Buy or whatever. I don't think that the amount of money that's being thrown around with these studios is really comparable to this stuff. They're Lebanese. They're affected. Apparently not that affected if they haven't quit. They could stand on principle if they wanted to, but they haven't. So that's their choice. I assume these people are adults and capable of making decisions for themselves. But again, we can also bring that back around to Ethan is Jewish. Him and Hila are Israeli. Are they not allowed to talk about these issues?
Goblin mode. Well, Ethan debuted a new mode recently.
And by the way, my ratio is pretty good. Like, I'm looking at like 20 goblin modes to 1 too far. Demon mode, let's call it.
What makes demon mode different than goblin mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach.
Ethan, the reason the internet got behind you when you were being sued by Matt Haas or when you were being sued by Ryan Kavanaugh is because People saw you as the underdog. They saw you as the guy.
Could you imagine where we would be right now if it weren't for that lawsuit?
Who's defending the common man.
I'm suing, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it. At the moment, we are writing.
No, Mama Kimmons, him being Jewish, I just thought about this. Him being Jewish means he's not allowed to talk about it because he's the one in power.
3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends. You have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad. You feel hurt. But you also have a surplus of money.
See, he's literally doing it right now.
So what can you do? You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. These public legal threats that you're making to fellow creators, these legal threats that you're making to people on Reddit, on Twitter, you're like, I'm hurt. These people are hurting me. What do I do to stop it? There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power. You have a ton of options. You have a ton of choice. That's exactly...
Dude, he is one cunt hair away from saying power plus whatever is what privilege is. Like, Idubbbz, you're right there. Just say it. Just say it.
What you get for being filthy rich is you can do all of these things.
Oh, okay, yeah, there's that. He's filthy rich. He's filthy rich. God, these people are so fucking dumb. Are you unwrapping Hurricane? No, I'm breaking supports on my 3D print.
Want to sue someone for defamation, but like at what point? Like at what point do you kind of fucking have to? I mean, this is like basically someone calling you a pedophile. Be like, yeah, you know, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch, and being
Pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite. There are certain things you can accuse people of that rise.
Yeah, Jews are only marginalized as long as it doesn't get in the way of somebody else's marginalization, but they're not as marginalized. Power plus prejudice, thank you. They're not as marginalized, so we'll use it when we can, but if there's something in conflict with the Jewish people, then, you know, not so much.
To make it like actionable, which is like wrongfully accusing someone of being a pedophile, a sex criminal, a murderer, shit like that. Dan Clancy now, in other words, he is a pedophile.
You have so...
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go around saying that Dan Clancy, the guy who runs Twitch, is a pedophile. There is no proof of that. Twitch.
So much less to go off of saying that than anybody has about
based
Dream.
on his looks. Just on based on his
Well,
looks.
at least you're self-aware.
That's 100% a joke. I have no evidence to conclude that he is.
One of the more notable legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Samson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're going to be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. 26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
Noah made a video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking about Israel and Palestine. I mean, the way he's talking about Noah on his podcast is so fucking creepy and weird.
Is this a new thing?
This is a new thing. This happened during the show. Upon initial examination, it seems to check out, and it's not great for young Noah.
Can I say that? Don't say it yet.
I'll say it.
So he's a rape. So of course his standard, I don't know what he's accused of, so I'm not actually going to say, but
Ethan brought on a former partner of Noah to basically just shit talk him and say that he's a bad partner. But that's all that Ethan was able to extract out of it.
you are not accusing him of committing any crimes or doing R-word or anything like that. The accusation is that he's a sleaze.
Absolutely. Noah
Yeah.
Samson, as far as I know, is not a rapist.
Fuck you to Noah Samson, who's not just a liar and a scumbag, but also a creep, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now let's talk about the left-leaning Democrat.
Okay, that was dumb. I don't... is there more to that? Or is that all we have to have for that one? Is okay, Ethan also does dumb things. Hasan is not the only dumb person on the internet. People have not liked Ethan Klein for a long time for good reason. But people don't like him for the stuff he says, or like the stands that, or not the stands, the pulling up the ladder, I guess would be the right way to do it. He was fine taking advantage of certain things when it was advantageous to him, but now he wants to take those away. That's okay. People don't like his a lot of his takes. But literally all this stuff is happening because he's Jewish. People are just going at him because he's Jewish. That's quite literally it.
presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
The thing that made me start to question Ethan's intentions is that when he was suggested to talk to Sam Cedar, a fellow progressive, a guy that Ethan respects and looks up to,
He works with Sam Cedar at the Majority Report. I respect him and what they do there.
he kept saying that it was racist or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, like, I urge Ethan to talk to Sam Cedar. There are very thoughtful, very kind anti-Zionist Jews out
Is Sam Cedar Israeli?
there that he could talk to. I don't think that I will be able to reach him.
What's the insinuation that I only listen to other Jewish people? You need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that like agree with me on everything. You know, it doesn't matter if they're Jewish, dude. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews at large view it. I don't think that is the.
In what position are you to even say that?
It's not motivated by myself. It's motivated by Jews against anti-Zionist Jews.
All right, let's try this in a different route. So Jews that agree with me, okay. Would these people take black people who don't agree with BLM seriously? Would these people take Arabic people who think that what's going on in Palestine is wrong? Would they take them seriously? No, I don't think so.
How can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you. This is like step one of having a leftist ideology, is recognizing our race, religion, nationality, all this shit, all shape our experiences as people.
That's the reason why it'd be better served to have this conversation not with myself, but with an anti-Zionist Jewish person.
Why does it matter if they're Jewish?
Because I'm not Jewish, and you've said in this conversation that, like, how can you tell me how to feel about the situation?
Yeah, but how is one person a representative of Jews at large? I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
So yes, Ethan, on occasion you might be suggested to talk to someone who has some crossover with you. It doesn't have to be your ethnicity. It could possibly be someone who shares progressive ideology with you. It could possibly be someone who is of your same gender. I think Ethan understands this concept very well. He listens.
Literally all I'm getting from this is I have a black friend, so I can't be racist. That's what it sounds like.
To these women on his show when they told him that he shouldn't be calling women bitches.
This bitch is intolerable. You are such a nasty fucking bitch, Ken.
I don't know if you can call her a bitch though.
She is a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. You're right. I call her a see you next Tuesday.
Listen, you have.
I'm curious, what do Lena and Sam think about it?
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's for the girlies, Ethan. But I
So
agree.
you guys all seem to be in consensus that it's in poor form. I think to respect the women here in the room, I'm going to have to pass on saying that.
The infantilization of Ethan Klein is fucking nauseating. He's not a child. He is absolutely capable of looking into Hasan, learning about his politics, interviewing, doing loads of things to figure out where he stands.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
And for the first time, I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was.
It's extremist.
Comment from Hasan really started to sound some alarms in my head. I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is.
You made how many episodes with Hasan? Like, this guy made a fucking program with the biggest mega leftist on the platform. Now he's acting like he was tricked and he was incapable of figuring out what this guy's beliefs were. Bro, I didn't make the fucking leftist program. You did. You made fucking, what, 60 some odd episodes of this
You dress that way, you are asking for it. You should have known that if you did a thing with Hasan that he would just turn into a frothing anti-Semite, a virulent terrorist supporter. You should have fucking known better. Why were you dressed that way?
shit for hours talking to this guy? You didn't have a problem with any of it until, Ethan talks about being aware of Hasan's 9/11 comments and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial...
No, Ethan, America actually did deserve it, you fuck.
statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to his...
Oh my God. You really just want to be invited to the new Friends cookout, don't you? Good Lord. God, this is the most pick-me shit I have ever seen on the internet before in my life. Well, you should have known that... You should have known Hasan was going to go fucking crazy on you. You should have known. How didn't you know? America did deserve it. It's not a joke. Good fucking Lord. CTP throwing another 350 into the Warhammer bucket. The worst lie Idubbbz told so far is saying that Hasan has political views, that propagandist opinions are fed to him by his inbred Redditor audience. That's a fact. Like, yeah, I guess welcome to the terrorist watch list. Like, dumb. These people are dumb.
On a little bit more and found out what his international politics opinions are. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online. You're not a victim. You weren't tricked. You made 60 some odd episodes. If you didn't want to go down this route, you shouldn't have done it. But that was your fucking choice. You did it. You are an adult. When Ethan and Hila are watching Matt...
Yeah, okay. Yes. You have a point there. You are not a victim. You decided to make this with Hasan. That's true. But Hasan, at the time, also didn't just hate Ethan because he was Jewish.
Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews. They cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single person represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
No single person represents all Jews, as no single state represents all Jews.
This is another weird thing.
Oh my God.
Israel, this is a lie that I see Hasan and people pander. They say that Israel's going to war on behalf of Judaism. They have never, I don't believe that that's ever been stated. And I don't think Israel ever explains that it's like, I think Israel says it's a place where Jews can go.
Israel's just a place Jews can go? With that slogan, we might actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go. Like, sure.
We might actually have peace, like Idubbbz has some fucking stake in this. You know, we might actually have peace if this is what you really thought, you terrorist.
Sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is saying. Like, like he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think Israel has said that it represents every last Jew on the planet. I don't think Israel has claimed that. They're not going to say that their most genocidal behavior represents anything to do with them, okay? But what they are going to do is they're going to inexplicably link Israel and Jewishness together, so when they're being criticized, all of a sudden, they have the perfect defense. Oh, another thing I need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habibi tier list. It was presented at TwitchCon as like a panel that was just meant to be lighthearted and fun, and Ethan Klein saw that, and he decided that it was anti-Semitic.
Tier list them, and we're going to need your help to discuss and figure out who can say Habibi and who can't.
And also, like, we have tiers. We have Arab coded. They ask permission to say Habibi. You know, like you got like white guys like, can I say it? Is it slurs? And then Love Sabra, which is they're not Arab coded at all.
Now, when I first saw this tier list, I immediately knew what it was doing. I was like, oh, it's a play on the who has the N-word pass and who doesn't tier list. Granted, Habibi is very different than the N-word, but it is a cultural word amongst Arabic-speaking people and Muslim people. Like that's.
So are we really trying to draw a distinction between Habibi and the N-word? Is this the new leftist talking point? This is the new leftist talking point. Habibi is the new N-word, guys. You know, I had a lot on my bingo card for 2025, but this was not it. We got to let everybody know immediately that they can no longer say Habibi.
Is
That is a word that's used. Habibi, it means my love. Oh no, don't do that, Habibi. Oh yes, Habibi. You're my Habibi, I'm your Habibi. So yes, it's meant to be a fun way that these Arab content creators can express their Arab culture and be proud of it and happy about it, because it's not like they have massive representation on the platform.
Making a tier list based on race. And nobody has a fucking problem with that. Okay, you have a tier list based on race. Where's the Jewish panel? Where's the Jewish panel? Where at the top it says Jewish. It's a tier list based on Arab to Jew. He's Arab, which is good. That's the best thing you can be on this. That's the best. This is racist.
I will say that conveying information through a tier list is not the most effective thing, but Ethan should understand.
No, this is racism. This is blatant racism.
This principle. He did a white slurs tier list with Hasan.
Cracker.
I mean, you know what my take is.
We can't put this as an F. Cracker. I mean, that's got to be at least a D, right?
Pale face motherfucker.
Pale face. I mean, again, I
also
think that's
racist.
An F. Hog.
So hog is my favorite. I use it all the time.
Him and Hasan feel as though they're white guys, so they felt very comfortable talking about white slurs on their tier list.
I think I'm more white than you. What do you think?
I think I'm white. Like, I'm super white.
Can you understand why Arabs might feel comfortable talking about Arab shit on their tier list, Ethan? You're the white guy. You think you're more white than
But this wasn't an Arab thing. This was TwitchCon.
Hasan.
I think I'm more white than you.
So yeah, the white guy can say all the things that he wants, like cracker, but the Arabs can't have their tier list.
I would put him also in Arab. I know Turkish people are different.
Notice how they dropped the premise almost immediately that it's about who can say Habibi. And then it's like Hasan, okay, actually he's Arab. We fucking love him. He's dope. He's Arab.
Habibi is an Arabic word. That is an Arabic word, Ethan.
Funny about this whole thing is that they say Habibi in Israel. Again, people underestimate just how like mixed Israeli culture is. Like,
we say Habibi in Israel. Yes, Ethan. Another piece of evidence as to why it isn't anti-Semitic.
This is racist.
If you're not Arab or
He didn't say it was anti-Semitic. He said it was racist. Does Idubbbz think that anti-Semitism is racism?
Culture at all, which is a lot of Americans, and Ethan Klein presents you this tier list and calls it anti-Semitic, you're just gonna eat it up. It's not. Ethan is just proving his location on this tier list under Love Sabra because he doesn't understand Arab culture. There's a lot of Arabs who eat Sabra. There's a lot of people like me who eat Sabra. A lot of the times it's all that's in the store, and I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna eat it, but it is not the good shit. Like the average Arab American, they're gonna go in the store and the only option they have is fucking Sabra. And that sucks that that's the only option, right? Arab community.
Yeah, I assume Sabra is kind of like ragu. Like it's offensive, but I'm not buying ragu even if it is all they have. Just an aside.
These and distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left with? They're left with a common, relatable, shitty hummus, which is Sabra. And what's so fucking pathetic about this whole thing is after he was able to get these Arab creators banned off of Twitch.
Who was banned? What's pathetic about this whole thing is that Idubbbz thought that Anissa would suck his dick, and it still probably hasn't happened.
For 30 days, he goes on to talk about how bad Sabra hummus is on his show.
I don't think anybody prefers Sabra over homemade like restaurant quality hummus. You know, it's what's there.
Like weirdly fluffy.
It is
Sabra.
fluffy.
Weird.
Yeah.
I would buy it sometimes and eat it. It's not the best.
The problem is with Sabra, in my opinion, it's only good for the first 2 days.
For some reason, like when you eat this Sabra shit, it just feels so much heavier. And imagine eating a whole fucking vat of Sabra. That's crazy.
Yeah. I've never liked hummus.
Holy fuck. Are we really? Is this really where Content Cop has gone from? We went from making rap videos with Post Malone about rice gum to talking about hummus. I hate all of this. Thank you, Nanya, for Idubbbz spent so long acting like they were talking about a brand of hummus instead of a quasi-slur term for a Jew born in Israel. Oh, really? I did not know that. Huh. Interesting. Oh, it was Boy in a Band. Post Malone just showed up. You're right.
Well, you hate Jews then.
I don't.
And Arabs.
Yeah. This is racist.
Yeah, it's almost like you can have a discussion about Sabra hummus being a bad hummus without it being at all related to a Jewish thing or an Israeli thing. He can have that discussion as much as he wants on his podcast because we all know his intentions aren't anti-Semitic.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
The Zionism is leading to not accepting other cultures, embracing their own culture, and instead thinking that that is an attack on you. There's this incident on the podcast where they were reacting to Cutie Cinderella, and Ethan was laughing during it. So that ended up being a pretty important wake-up call for Ethan. He made an apology video directed at Cutie Cinderella, and it was graded by a professional psychologist, Dr. Kirk Honda of Psychology in Seattle, and Ethan got an A+ rating.
In terms of a public apology, this is A+.
Ethan won't stop talking about his A+ rating.
You know he rated my apology.
I did not. Did Ethan cover the Sabra slur in his content nuke? I don't remember that.
Cinderella, a perfect score, a perfect 10.
A perfect 10 out of 10?
Literally 10 out of 10. Go back.
Who the fuck is Cutie Cinderella?
Make a good apology. I'm
right.
the best
10 out of 10.
I know what a perfect apology is, lady. You fucking don't. Is my perfect apology in this PowerPoint? Dude, I got a perfect 10 out of 10. This one is actually best apology, so. Ethan, Klein, you guys, oh my God.
I was trying really hard to think about an impactful moment during this video. Like, could I do something that would really wake Ethan up? And I don't know if this came from a good place or not, but I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least. So I went to visit Psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident that Kirk will change his grade, but it's worth trying. And, you know, we might learn a thing or two.
Xander! Probably get pretty low marks. Unlike me, perfect score, 10. I said, hey, Lud, no wig drama. Why are you such a spineless coward of a person now that you've inserted yourself and your girlfriend into this conversation?
Okay, Idubbbz, I hear you. You're in the room with me right now. I hear you. I hear your request. I understand it. I can understand where it's coming from. And I guess have a policy that when there is a grade for an apology, I am just grading that discrete apology as I see it without taking any consideration.
God, this is so petty, and this reeks of cow tipping. Rule number 1, don't touch the poo. So whatever.
Of prior or future behavior. If you're wanting me to comment on the overall behavior or the recent behavior from the clips that you have shown me, I believe that Ethan is a good person and that eventually he will feel sorrow and will feel sorry. And
why is there so many jump cuts in this?
Will apologize, and I will be there to evaluate that apology when it happens, which I know it will.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So he went IRL and it blew up and he still kept it in the video. What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like, if that happened, you should have just edited this whole section out.
Unfortunately, Kirk did not change his grade, but that's okay because this is the internet. Anyone can have their own official apology rating system. So I'm going to rate Ethan's apology a B-. That's just based on my own feelings and my own rubric. When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. I think something that's very...
Stop trying to make Creator Clash a thing. It's already failed. Stop trying to do it. He needs an ass whooping. You fucking crybaby.
Important to me in bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. I think that was something that was not illustrated in previous Content Cops that I think should have been and probably wouldn't have left me with so much regret. Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very valid.
So Leafy doesn't deserve the same criticism that Ethan's getting? Oh my God.
But I also think at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that he's human because he is human.
What? If you're so mad about your wife's boyfriend, just take it out on him.
And he is in a situation that's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other features and feelings. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well.
Oh my god, this is so fucking cringy, dude. Ugh.
I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly.
Who the fuck is this guy?
When you are being lighthearted and just having fun with your friends, I think that...
This is about as disingenuous as it gets.
Is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports very good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has...
I want you to make the content I want you to make, not the stuff you want to make. This is so gross, dude. This is fucking gross. I would like to see some violence if anybody feels like giving some violence.
Stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think this deserves violence, actually.
Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good, and I think he's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up, and fighting it, he changed YouTube for the better. And I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Elon. Like,
oh my god. He didn't. Oh my god. Oh. I would have taken all of this out of the video. Holy shit.
Like, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
And I have been kind of slipping into a very unhealthy place where it's gotten worse and worse, and I get criticized more and more, and I get more defensive and more pulled up, a feeling of almost infallibility that I could take anything on. It led me to make a lot of mistakes, and then when I was criticized for those mistakes, then I would act extremely defensive and nasty and not really processing them in a healthy way.
What? And it just ends there. Holy shit. Yeah, definitely needs some violence after that. I want to see what some of the comments say. Since the last content count is a huge day for leftists who are edgy teens. Oh my god. The more time passes, the more I truly believe dying Harambe. We live in a timeline. This video makes me realize I'm not as chronically online as most people. That's true. Now this is a recession indicator. Oh man. Thank you, Idubbbz. They are very politically savvy. They follow Hasan. It's wild how a bunch of washed up American YouTubers made the Israel-Palestine crisis about them. This is humiliating. This is humiliating. Like, oh man. If if Idubbbz, if Ian wasn't such a crybaby bitch-made polyword, I might feel bad for him. But let's watch the response from H3, and then we're going to get out of here.
A few days ago, my good friend Ian, also known as Idubbbz, released a content cop about me. His video's over an hour long, and it's full of a lot of accusations. We watched the entire video, every frame of it, responded to every accusation on the podcast in a really long episode. We watched the whole thing, so if you're interested in a more thorough response to everything, I would recommend watching this episode.
Yeah, I'm not.
The video that I'm making today, however,
I don't want to
sit
need an
through
hour
that again for, because there's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time. In the entire video, he never says CPS. No mention, no explanation, no overview, nothing. Zero mentions of CPS. A few weeks ago, Child Protective Services showed up to our house at 6 a.m. to interrogate us about an anonymous tip they got that our kids were crawling around and eating dog shit at catching diseases. Ian spends the majority of his video characterizing me like a raving lunatic who's lashing out at everyone around me with zero provocation.
Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship. And I feel like I am speaking up.
I feel like he did that on purpose. He purposely did not mention any of this.
For a lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
What he doesn't say is the majority of these clips he's using are taken from this episode. Now, does he ever show the title of this episode? No, he does not ever show the title of this episode. Snark called Child Protective Services on us. Not only does he not show the title, he doesn't explain why.
Oof, boy. That is damning in and of itself.
I'm upset, who I'm mad at, why I'm mad at them. Zero context. I am just an anonymous, screaming lunatic.
It's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcast.
Yeah, CPS got called. Now, I know that most of these people involved in this are not parents, will never be parents, so they don't have the emotions a parent would have regarding this stuff, so they don't understand the absolute blinding rage that a parent would feel if CPS got called on them because some dipshit on the internet thought that they didn't like Jewish people and were Jewish. No, I'm sorry. Some dipshits on the internet thought that they didn't agree with them because they're Jewish. There we go.
SR. There was a way to approach us to say like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack.
In this episode, the same day that CPS came to my home, I was understandably irate. This was a provocation that I had not experienced. It went into my real world, was affecting my children and my life in a way that I found extremely disturbing and an escalation that I found very unacceptable. Now, why am I mad at Ian for this? Well, let's start here. Denims is someone he's accusing me of in his video of harassing. Let's see what Denim said about my children 3 days before CPS was called.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it, or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something. But they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called GAWD from the dog shit that is all over his house.
Dude, how is it that like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to?
Do they just not realize how insane this is? Or do they not care? I don't know.
And every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting GAWD.
We already have Mold Mondays. Now we have Shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, It's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew, playing...
No wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is this happening? How is this happening? Yeah, I mean, I don't even make fun of people's weight. I've never made fun of people's weight. I do make fun of people's posture. If you're making an active decision that, like, you don't give a fuck about your...
How dare you lean over?
Your health or your posture or your dog shitting all over the house to the point where your kids are getting giardia. That's the image of someone who is not well. Wait, what? Wait, what, Dams? Wait, what? You guys didn't know about this? Yeah.
Oh, so she's just a titty streamer.
Meth-Zempic diet. Oh, God.
Even after CPS was called, Denim's attempted to justify it by claiming that it's okay because children can't be traumatized.
I don't want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him,
create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very, very...
Again, just like I said earlier, I had no idea about any of this. But childless people who don't understand what it's like to have children.
That you're forming memories at 5 years old. Nah, yes, you are. No, you're not. When we're talking about being able to remember, being able to recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff. But even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
If you're wondering who the guy is she's watching, his name is Bad Empanada. And as far as harassment campaigns go, you'd think that Ian, as someone who cares so deeply about it, would be talking about him and not me. Here's a small taste.
I'd like to pay tribute to Ethan Klein and the new Twitch TOS that declares Zionism. Zion is the slur. I'd like to pay tribute to him by playing the first in Al-Aqsa video game where you kill Zionist soldiers as a Palestinian resistance fighter. Anyways, are these soldiers? Are these?
He sounds like a very very mentally stable fella.
Israelis are just standing there. I mean, is the Israeli army a bunch of Ethan Kleins? Like, they're all on a fucking Ozempic binge. They don't understand what's going on around them. They haven't noticed me. Where do they keep the secretaries? In here? I'm hunting for secretaries right now. Secretary got...
Here's Bad Empanada once again, who posted a story saying, I'm the one who called CPS on Ethan Klein. I want CPS to take his kids away because they are seriously in danger.
Very sane individual.
Today was pretty bad, wasn't it? Really sucked for you. You were so disappointed. The betrayal of one of your closest long-term friends, huh? Tick-tock, though, Ethan. Tick-tock, because this was just a taste. This was just a small part of what we have organized for you. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, Mr. Klein. Every day, sit there just...
What the fuck?
Just waiting in misery, in fear of what we have in store for you.
What we have in store? Whoa.
Tick-tock goes the clock.
Maybe if he stops harassing other creators.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor.
Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace.
House is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit.
And I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you.
I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something.
I was particularly angry during this episode entitled Snark Called CPS on Us because I hold denims to be one of the primary reasons, in my opinion, why CPS was called. Another one of their friends, Froggy Tonic, had been spreading the same malicious rumor about me on Twitter for days before CPS was called as well.
I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the
Apparently not that mean. No, I did not edit any of this.
C-word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure.
Now let me show you the tweets that Ian conveniently omitted. Me when my 3 kids ask me why they haven't seen me in the past 4 months. I was in my basement. How can you shun a fallen fan when they worry about their 3 kids when they can't be bothered to protect their dogs? Ethan was neglectful with his dogs. He's already been neglectful with his kids, and he will continue to be. As a child of a neglectful, bipolar, narcissistic dad, that's precisely why I worry about Ethan's kids. I explained it on the podcast, but the truth of the matter is, it's all a lie. It's all wrong. The man is talking about my children. He's painting me as a terrible parent, a neglectful parent, and saying that he's, whose claim to fame is being Idubbbz' friend and former editor, is spreading malicious, damaging rumors about me that led to the CPS being called. Which, by the way, Ian does not explain one time. He did not mention why I'm angry at Froggy Tonic. He did not mention why I'm angry at Denims. He did not mention the name of the episode. He did not mention...
I wonder why he would leave all this stuff out. That's very interesting. Like we said earlier when we watched it.
What the episode was about. He actually has a perfect opportunity to explain the CPS call, but watch what he does here instead.
Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C-word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit.
What other shit, Ian? Other shit is doing a lot of heavy lifting, man. Now, why does this matter? Because Anissa was yucking it up with these guys during the period in which they were spreading this rumor and when the CPS call was made. The CPS call is central to understanding this story. You cannot tell this story without that context, and to try to tell this story without including that detail, it would be the most bad faith, cruel, gaslighting hit piece of all time. Unfortunately, that's exactly what he did. He convinced his audience that the reason that I'm mad, that I'm lashing out, simply because I'm a raving lunatic. I am crashing out. I'm just crazy and harassing his friends for no reason. And by the way, to my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help.
Someone who I've confided in over the years with my struggles with it, who understands what I've been through, the lengths that I've gone to work on myself and improve.
Oh, there is zero. There is nothing that these people won't latch onto that you've told them that they won't use against you. There's absolutely nothing off limits.
My mental condition, for him to throw that in my face, to characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing. One ridiculous point he keeps hammering on is that I'm hating on him, I'm harassing him, simply because he's following people on Twitter.
We're not gonna run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people. We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
I'm not upset, Ian, because you follow people. That is absurd. I'm mad because you are actively engaging with these people on social media, in DMs, while this harassment is happening, seemingly indifferent to it, silent on it. In a sense, I felt like you were more on their side than my side.
Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out.
Our silence means something. That's exactly what we felt. Wow, it's almost like we were right about you. There's something that I've never talked about publicly, but around the same time, we received 2 human skulls in the mail at our home, which led us to having a very pleasant interview with the FBI. Things have progressed well past the point of that's just what the internet does. Ian had a recent revelation. He's transcended into a new person. He's achieved nirvana and discovered empathy at age 32.
He's 32?
Past.
He is 32 years old. Are you shitting me?
Last couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy, but I have, and I've realized it because I just can't.
No, that's not that. That's a sword hilt. Holy shit. Wow.
Help myself, but feel for other people's pain and suffering now. I'm still not perfect. I think that is, my empathy meter's only maybe a quarter of the way filled up, potentially, but it's at least there.
In the spirit of his newfound enlightenment, he had this to say.
I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it. The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons, and obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human, I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and I make a different set of mistakes than the people I was making videos on, but it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level.
It kind of is, since that was the only reason Hasan bought it. He literally said he doesn't watch Bleach, then asked and calls it the swastisword. The swastisword. Wow.
Of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not.
What happened? Am I so uniquely evil that you're willing to abandon your newfound principles after, less than a year? What is it that I've done, Ian, that makes me more detestable than any of the other people that you've content copped? And for what did you do this? To revitalize your dying career? This entire video reeks of desperation, of being thrown together, and poorly researched. I don't really even understand why they did this, and I can't imagine that it's going to be worth it. Thanks for the 8 years of friendship, buddy. Have fun with your new friends.
Wow. I gotta say, I can really understand why Ethan is as upset as he is. I can get it. That's supposed to be your buddy, and he's done with you, and not only is he done with you, but he's okay with what these other people are doing to you. I know I would feel some type of way if one of my friends just okay, you don't want to be friends anymore, that's fine. You don't owe me your friendship. But I would feel some type of way if they went and they turned around and they were buddy with people who were sending me skulls and calling the cops on me. Okay, you don't owe me your friendship. If you don't want to be friends, that's fine. But can you not? Can you not stab me in the back? Oh, your wife likes him? Okay. People in the chat are very torn about the sword. Apparently, Hasan calls it the swastika sword. So it doesn't really matter if it's a Nazi symbol or not. He is dumb enough to think it is. So that is what it is as far as that goes. But we're done. I'm done. We're done. This is done. Guys, thank you for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow for Sunday, Wednesday, and the AAA, probably. Maybe AAA. All right, later, guys.